Welcome back to another Sumerian 11 Gossips video. In today's video, we're going to be reacting to a Jeffrey Dahmer 1993 interview. Oh, that was a mouthful. Before I get started, I would just like to show off my baby. Oh, come here. Oh, I love you. Hey, Lappa Girl, did you check out that online earring shop, Sumerian11shop.pickcartel.com? Did you? You did? Make sure you guys check that out in our YouTube bio, where you guys can find beautiful handmade earrings just like the ones that I'm wearing, these beautiful butterflies. Oh, yeah. So, without further ado, let's get into Jeffrey Dahmer. So, as you guys may or may not know, Jeffrey Dahmer is a serial killer from the 90s who became famous for killing people, and he targeted a lot of black men. He did kill I believe a Asian person, an Asian young boy, a minor. And I believe he killed one white male, but all men, and majority of the people that he killed were black people, which I just find it weird that you had a fascination with killing only black men. Um, so before I get any further, let's get into it because this is a lot. So you guys, I have to put in my, what do you call it, my wired earpieces in today because my AirPods are charging. Right, Lava Girl? Yes. She said yes. So let's get into this 1993 clip of Jeffrey Dahmer. Pretty much, let's just get into it.
Pure evil.
Here
but
we
you'd
go.
never know it by looking at him. But when you hear him, that's another story. His killing field was Milwaukee, and he got away with murder for more than a decade. But how could any of this happen? For the first time ever, Nancy Glass is here inside the world of Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay, so Nancy Glass is about to
sat down
interview
opposite
Jeffrey Dahmer
for this
for the
interview,
first
I
time.
wondered what he would tell me, how hard it would be to get him to discuss his horrific crimes. What I found was that he was very forthcoming. He volunteered details that may be difficult to hear. I began by asking what he wanted from the men he picked up.
I had these obsessive
desires.
And thoughts wanting to control
Okay, he wanted
them,
control.
To, I don't know how to put it,
Possess them permanently.
And that's why you killed them.
Right, right. Not because I was angry with them, not because I hated them, but because I wanted to keep them with me. And as my obsession grew, I was saving body parts such as skulls and skeleton.
What? So let me get this straight. This man had an obsession with control. He desired control, and so basically he would kill these men and he would keep their body parts inside of his apartment and store them in his apartment, and he would keep skulls, skeletons, their bodies have disintegrated at this point, so he's keeping their skeletals. Is skeletal's a word? Oh my god, this is insane. There's more that I want to say, but I'm gonna just wait till later on in the video. Let's watch. Are you guys ready? Here we go.
Jeffrey Dahmer is recalling his monstrous past. Almost 2 years ago in this little apartment in Milwaukee,
so this was his
police
apartment
discovered
in
the
Milwaukee.
grisly remnants of one of the most horrible crime sprees in
Wow,
American
look at
history.
all of that
Jeffrey Dahmer, an
evidence
unassuming
in
chocolate
his
factory
apartment.
worker, would eventually confess that he had seduced, murdered,
These
and
are all the men
dismembered
that he
17
killed.
young men. He even ate
17.
some of his victims' body parts.
He even ate some of his victims' body parts? What? So not only are you a murderer, but you're eating the body parts as well? You know something ain't right. Okay, let's watch the next clip, shall we?
It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. When you depersonalize another person and view them as just an object.
He views people as an object.
A living, breathing human being.
Or pleasure instead of a human being.
Seems to make it easier to do things you shouldn't do.
Wow. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? I'm honestly shocked that, you know, yes, this was in 1993, but just the fact that, actually, I'm glad that there is a Jeffrey Dahmer in the world. Well, he's dead now, but it just shows you how, you know, for one, racism was really, you know, in full effect. Because if a black man was if Jeffrey Dahmer was a black man, he would not have had a platform to speak on anything that he had done. He would just be sent straight to the pen, right? He would just be sent away. Oh, you're black. Oh, you're a ghetto. Oh, you're this and that. Oh, you're a thug, right? But because he's a white Caucasian person, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, let's give him a platform. Let's make all these documentaries about him, right? Right? Let's do a show called Dahmer and make it a whole entertainment thing. And let's entertain the whole world with a man who went on a killing spree, just killing a ton of men, and majority black men that he was killing. Like, I even Googled, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer photos because I wanted to get, you know, a good thumbnail for my YouTube video. And I saw that someone has a tattoo of this man on their leg. You know, a Caucasian person has a tattoo of him. And it's sad how America glamorizes death. I don't know if it's just America, but it's just sad how society glamorizes serial killers and murder, and it's just sad. But let's watch the next. Here we go.
The reason why Jeffrey Dahmer was able to get away with his crimes was because of just what you are seeing here. Jeffrey Dahmer is intelligent and articulate. That is what makes him so frightening. But if you listen carefully to his words throughout this interview, you realize it is a thin disguise.
Did this woman just say that Jeffrey Dahmer was articulate and intelligent, and that's why he was able to pull off his crimes, because he was intelligent and articulate? Wow. Just wow. Let's watch the next clip, shall we?
I always knew that it was wrong, but
okay, so he knew it was wrong.
After the
intelligent man.
The first killing was not planned. I was coming back from the shopping mall back in '78. I had fantasies about picking up a hitchhiker and
fantasies about picking up a hitchhiker.
And, having complete control and dominance over him.
The hitchhiker's name was Stephen Hicks. He was just 18. Jeffrey Dahmer took him to his
Okay, an
parents'
18-year-old
house.
named
There,
Stephen
he strangled
Hicks.
him with a barbell. He dismembered the body and hid it in a drain pipe. It was Jeffrey Dahmer who gave those details to the police in his confession.
No one had a clue as to what was happening for over a decade.
During that time, Jeffrey Dahmer joined the Army and was sent to Germany.
Over a decade.
He was eventually discharged for a drinking
Okay,
problem
so he
and
was
returned
sent
to Ohio.
to Germany.
9 years after Stephen Hicks' murder, the killing began again.
Wow. So, you guys heard that, right? He dismembered an 18-year-old, and he's a boy. Yes, you're of age. He dismembered an 18-year-old boy's body. Right? And he was just reckless with his murders. Like, when you look at this man in the interview, clearly he has no conscience. Like, he lacks remorse. He lacks a conscience. Like, these type of people like are actually really terrifying. So I just don't appreciate the fact that, okay, yes, there's mental health issues and all that. Clearly this man had a ton of mental health issues, clearly, and they just wanted to glamorize the situation and capitalize off of it and make documentaries off of it and shows and stuff like that. And I just feel like if he was not a white man, they would not have taken it this far. You know, they want to call him articulate and intelligent. What's so articulate about hiding your crimes, um, or doing crimes and then just knowing how to hide them? First of all, there's probably a lot of people in the 1900s, 1980s, and all that probably doing a ton of things that they could get away with because number one, there was no cameras around. There's cameras everywhere now. So it was easier to scope the area, right? Oh, there's no camera here, there's no camera there. Okay, I could just do this really quick, you know? So we live in a world where you can easily get caught. So Jeffrey stated that he knew what he was doing was wrong. He knew that it wasn't right at all. And he just kept going because he said that he was seeking dominance and control and I guess power, I guess, but it's just like weird, like to me, like how can someone's thought process be like, oh, I want to be God, I want to be above God, and I want to start taking lives, and I want to start targeting this group of people because I just can. Nothing's going to come back to me. I can just do it, right? And nothing's going to come back to me, you know? So that's just a little weird. So let's get into the next clip, shall we? Here we go.
When I moved to Milwaukee in '81, I started reading pornography, going to the bookstores.
Okay.
Eventually that led to frequenting the gay bars. And then
Okay, so he started
one time
reading
I brought this,
pornography, going to the gay
back
bars.
to the hotel room, the Ambassador Hotel.
Okay. He brought a man back to his room.
Drugging him and
he was planning on drugging him.
Had no intention of hurting him. When I woke up in the morning, he had a broken rib here, was heavily bruised. Apparently I had beaten him to death with my fists.
And you have no memory
I
of it?
have no memory of it. But that's what started the whole spree all over.
Okay, so Jeffrey went to a gay bar, brought a man back to his hotel room, and he's telling the interviewer that he has no memory of beating this man to death. No memory. None whatsoever. I don't know if he was on some hardcore drugs back then, but he's telling us that he blacked out and that he just has no memory of murdering this man. I'm not sure what you call that. I don't know if it's psycho. I don't know if it's demonic. I don't know if it's just pure rage. He said that he didn't have no anger toward these people. So it's like, why are you doing it? Like, I'm trying to get inside the mind of someone like that, but I really don't want to. But just for the sake of the video, I'm trying to think like, you just gonna find any random person, bring them to your hotel room and just kill them like that, and they didn't do nothing to you, and you just going on these killing sprees. And you know, I understand there's medications and stuff to I guess put a band-aid on the problem, but these medications where people have all these psychological problems, clearly I don't know if it's helping people now, but yeah, man, this is a lot. This is a lot to watch. Like, I don't know if medication would have helped Jeffrey. I don't know if he was on medication. I don't know if he was doing, a mixture of drugs, and I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that I want to get to the next. Here we go.
Dahmer says he snuck the corpse of his victim, Stephen Toomey, out of his hotel room in a suitcase. Then he took it to his grandmother's house, where he cut up the body and put it in plastic garbage bags.
So, Jeffrey, okay. After he beat this man to death with his fists, he cut up the body and stuffed it in a suitcase, brought it over to his grandmother's house, and let's see, let me rewind that. Okay, so he cut up the body and put it in plastic garbage bags at his grandmother's house. I don't know if his grandmother was home. I don't know if his grandmother knew about it and then covered for him. I'm not sure. But if someone comes to my house and start cutting up a body, I'm gonna smell something. Something's gonna be suspicious, and I'm gonna report it to the cops. Like, there's no way. Like, I would not know if someone's cutting up a body at my home. Anyway, um, so yeah, that's how that situation ended with that particular date. Let's go to the next clip.
You killed these men. Afterwards, were you repulsed? Were you upset?
No, at the time,
okay, so he wasn't upset.
It was almost addictive. It was almost,
okay, it was addictive.
A surge of energy. I wouldn't have to worry about any of their needs or anything. I just had complete control of the situation.
So Jeffrey told us just now that it was addictive for him to kill people. He got a surge of energy, and it was pretty much like a high for him. So again, I can't get into the mind of someone like this. I guess it's interesting for us to discuss it, watch the show Dahmer, watch the interviews, because it's like you don't hear stuff like this every day. So it is interesting to be like, wow. I mean, it's sad that all those people lost their lives, and it wasn't fair, and it wasn't necessary for them to lose their lives. But how can, like, think about it. We were all born, in our mother's wombs. We were all formed in our mother's wombs. We were an infant, a toddler, middle schooler, high schooler, adult, right? What happens to a person? Just think about a little infant baby, like something like this. Right? This is you, right? When you're a baby. Just imagine this baby growing up to become a serial killer. Just imagine this baby growing up to be a Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to think that this man was once a baby, an innocent baby. That's how I look at stuff. That's how I look at it. Like, you were a baby. Like, what happened in between time where you got so messed up in the head? What happened? So, I don't know. Let's watch the last clip. Here we go.
Why did you photograph them?
It was my way of remembering.
Okay, so he photographed them.
Their appearance, their physical beauty.
Remembering their appearance.
I also wanted to keep if I couldn't keep them there with me whole, at least I felt that I could keep their skeletons. And,
okay, so he kept their skeletons.
I even went so far as planning on setting up an altar with the 10 different skulls and skeletons.
And what was the purpose of
setting up an altar with their skulls?
As a sort of memorial. A point where I could, I don't know, it's so bizarre and strange, it's hard to describe. A place where I could collect my thoughts and feed my obsession.
Okay, to feed his obsession. So he collected their skulls because he wanted to set up an altar, because he wanted to create like a thinking space, pretty much, where he can, I guess, well, he said it. He said feed his obsession. And wow. Just imagine, like, you're on a murdering spree and you just start collecting skulls, you're eating the parts, you're eating their body parts, and you're setting up an altar to get your thoughts right so you can, kill the next person. Just imagine that. Can you imagine that? It doesn't get more diabolical than that. It doesn't get any more, like, when he's talking about setting up an altar with skulls, that sounds like some witchcraft stuff. That sounds like, just some stuff beyond a person's, mental, like, who thinks that way? Maybe there are some nah. I mean, what is normal, right? What is normal? I don't think any of us can really say we're 100% normal. What is that? What is normal? But Jeffrey, he was on a whole nother planet, man. He was on a whole nother planet. And I think that's what makes him so what's the word I want to use? That's what makes Jeffrey so strange. I don't know if strange is considered good or interesting or wow. That's different. That's strange. Let me gravitate toward that more. Like, for them to make a whole show about a dead serial killer. Wow. Another thing that I would like to add is the fact that, he killed majority of his victims were black men, and I believe he had two victims of other races. But just the fact that he had an obsession with killing black men, I feel like that's what really got him famous. Because think about it. If he was on a murdering spree, killing little girls, you know, little Caucasian girls, it would probably still be a big deal. But just because, the way society looks at black people and the way that they try to villainize us, and, I think that Jeffrey is like their hero. I really believe that, Jeffrey is a hero to some people, because a lot of people are racist for whatever personal reasons they have. And so Jeffrey's their hero. And that's why, like I said before, someone has a tattoo of this man on their leg. And I just feel like it's very strange how society glamorizes death and murder. And for them to interview this man, he should have never had a platform at all. He should have never had a platform at all. Of course, we would like to know why anyone is out there murdering people. We would like to know. But that information he gave us, what does that do for us? That just lets us know how psycho people are. Ariana Grande came out recently and said if she could speak to anyone in the world, dead or living, she would want to speak to Jeffrey Dahmer. Why do you want to speak to this man? Why? What is so fascinating about someone who's murdering someone? It wouldn't be fascinating if he murdered someone in your family. It wouldn't be fascinating if he murdered your next door neighbor. It wouldn't be fascinating then. Why are we glamorizing serial killers? What's the point? If it happened in your family, it would not be okay. You would not want to talk to him then, right? And I love Ariana Grande, but I'm sorry, that statement, I can't agree with that. So, yeah, I pretty much covered the entire video for today. I might do a part 2, so stay tuned. But as always, stay tuned for more Samariana Leva gossip content. Make sure you guys follow me on TikTok at Samariana Leva. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at Samariana Leva. Make sure you guys check out my online earring shop at SamarianaLevaShop.BigCartel.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.